Hi, Babs. Hi, Jess. It's nice to see both of you. My name's John Kirk. I'm
Oh,
with
yeah.
OriginalSin.ca. Um, Booker, my question is for both of you. But Booker Bradshaw had his Joseph Mabenga, and Majel Barrett Roddenberry had her Christine Chapel, and they had identifiable styles. I was just wondering what it was that you are going to bring to those characters that we can look forward to seeing more of in season two.
Mhm.
Oh,
Um,
me? Oh.
you want to go first?
No, you go. You go. Please go.
Sure. I think the main thing that I took from Majel's character, and also from Majel herself, I think, is that she is like she's pretty badass. Like the way that she got her way into Star Trek and what she wanted for Nurse Chapel, which probably wasn't fully satisfied. Um, I like that essence, and I think that I've brought that into the character. I also think that uh her Nurse Chapel was like really dry and funny and took no shit. And I would like to see that more explored in season 2 as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Babs, did you want to add something?
Yes. Yeah. Booker Bradshaw was a serious man. At least he looked like a serious man. And, I wish he had done more episodes of Star Trek, but he, of course, went on to actually be a pretty successful television writer. So there was a lot going on there. So, my God, I lost you guys. No, I haven't. Oh, forgive me. Zoom. Ugh. But yeah, so, I'm entrusted with this character and I'm just flying into it, embracing it and doing it in service of the past and in, you know, in service of the future. Uh,
All right. Thank you. Dawn, you got the next question.
Forgive me, guys. Forgive me, guys. Can we do this like after the question? If it's possible to just then say Jess or Babs, who you want to ask, to answer you first, just so that we don't, Jess and I
Yeah.
don't go back and forth, if you know what I mean. Apologies.
Oh, I do understand, Babs. And unfortunately, this question is for Jess, but nice to see you, Babs. Tomorrow is Pride Month. The season premieres during Pride Month. In season one, we learned that Christine Chapel is bisexual. And some
Yeah.
folks are calling this show Star Trek Bisexual Thirst Trap. I'd love your comments on that, Jess.
People.
I'm an out transgender journalist, and it's just wonderful to see representation. I was like to invite you to comment on that, please.
Yeah, I mean, I am so delighted that there is more representation for all expressions of sexuality and gender in Star Trek. That's really exciting to me, and I'm really proud to be a part of that representation. I would like to see it explored more for Chapel and for anyone else who's on the show. I just think that is something that I think the fandom really appreciates, and it's also a direct reflection of society right now, like that the increased visibility and the increased acceptance of queer folk is something that's it's being celebrated a lot right now, and also threatened a lot right now. There's a lot of violence towards people who are queer, and so I think Star Trek has a certain power that they could use to fight that. And I would be really I really urge them to do that with the writing. I think it's an opportunity for them to really step up and stand behind our queer fans.
Thank you, Jess. I forgot to mention I'm from the Daily Beast. Thank you, Babs. Thank you, Jess.
All right. Next question goes to Rachel.
Rachel Leishman from the Mary Sue. So now you guys both have a season under your belt on Star Trek, and so I want to know for both of you, what was the moment where you, excuse my French, but where you were like, "Holy shit, I'm on Star Trek"? Babs, if you wanted to start.
Uh, when I got the job, I was like, oh, holy shit, I'm on Star Trek. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. It's a joy, and it is something. It is something. It's like you work and you go out there and push, try to get work and whatnot, and when you land on a show, and a piece that's got such a massive, massive history and legacy. Some actors will never do this. So it's it's a beautiful privilege to have.
All right, next question goes to Karen Mullis.
Hi, Karen Mole from Sci-Fi Vision. My question is for Babs. Star Trek is full of brilliant doctors who are valued for their intellect. Dr. M'Benga's a little different. We see in these early episodes he's valued for other skill sets, including his physicality. And could you talk a bit about finding his physicality and carrying that through, and like the dual nature that we see of him this season?
Just to be clear, intellect plus physicality. Just to be clear.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's lovely. It's dynamic, and it's interesting. And it's kicking ass, but there is more under it than just kicking ass. It's protecting those around him. It's protecting his shipmates, and yeah, so it's really fun. It's really fun. I love it. I can do it all day, and it's just a wonderful part of the work that we got to experience, like right from the first episode for season 2. It was brilliant. We had a great time.
It was very fun to watch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephanie, you've got next.
Hi, Stephanie Holland from The Root.
Hello.
And this is for both of you. The relationship between M'Benga and Chapel is they're very much equals, even though he's the doctor, she's the nurse, but they're very much equals when they're working together. And he's more than willing to step back and let her take the lead when she's the expert. And I'm wondering if you guys could talk about their working dynamic and how respectful they are of one another. Babs, if you want to start.
I think there's a lot of respect there. I don't think M'Benga is a guy or rather, Dr. M'Benga is not a man that's enamored with titles. I don't know if you got the joke there. I said Dr. M'Benga.
That's good.
Yeah, no. But I think there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of respect, and there's trust. And when you trust people, you just appreciate whatever they're bringing to the table, whether they are, beginner or advanced or junior or whatnot. You listen because they've got something to give also. So I think that relationship is very much layered with that. The utmost respect for each other in the workplace.
Would you like me to also answer? Yeah, I think that, I agree with a lot of what Babs has said. I think that, we learn that Chapel and M'Benga have been through a lot together and have a history that goes back a long way. And they've been through some really hard things and had to make some big decisions. And through that, they know each other very deeply. So whatever professional title they have is kind of second to that, and they understand each other more deeply as like they can almost function as one, and understand what the other person needs in any like pressurized situation, which is really beautiful, and has been really cool to find with each other.
Thank you.
All right, Jamie, you've got next.
This is such an interesting season for Chapel because she's left last season maybe with some lingering feelings for Spock, and she mentions at the start of this season that she'd like to do a bit of training or some sort of program that she's interested in joining. Is it because she's trying to avoid her feelings for Spock, or is it mostly for career advancement, or maybe a little of both?
I think it's both. I think that Chapel is very ambitious and very focused on her work, and although that is driven by real passion, I think it also is a handy avoidant tactic. And so those things can be quite entwined in a way that probably is a bit subconscious, even, where like when things get hard, she's like, oh, well, look at this thing that I really must do now, like, which she really must do, but also it's convenient. And I think that I think it's a complex knot of both.
Thank you.
All right, next we've got Mike.
Mike Bovia, Trek Geeks. So we talked a little bit, Babs, about the physicality associated with Mbenga, but in episode 1, it was actually the both of you that had a lot of physical stuff going on. So I'm just wondering, how much training did the two of you need to go through to get through some of those scenes?
Who would you like to answer first? I'll go. Yeah. I had some catching up to do, as Babs is highly trained already. And
highly trained.
Hand fight. Yep, hand fight. But that was really fun. It's something that I've wanted to explore myself anyway. So we did a lot of like basic fight training, and then choreo training, like pieces of choreo, and then fitting them together into larger sequences as the script kind of became more fleshed out, and then seeing how that would fit in the space. So, and then practicing that over and over and over again, and then shooting that over and over again. So it was pretty grueling, but also like so enjoyable. We walked away exhausted and bruised and very satisfied. It was a lot of fun.